Always by an old dreamer. I had a vision, so I am compelled to share it with you. It starts with a gentle rustling of wings and light clanking of armor and weapons accompanying the morning music. The host of heaven was gathering silently. Was there 1,000,000 present? 2,000,000? Three? More amazing than the splendor of this vast army was its silence. Not one sneeze, cough, or whisper broke the morning calm. It was a grand sight to behold. The mix of angels and saints of God seemed to be waiting for something or someone. Having experienced large formations and the usual weight that accompanies them during my life on earth as a Marine, I was completely at ease in my surroundings. My eyes looked over the men and angels around me and registered no other weapons but swords. No body armor, packs, helmets, radios, just tunic like attire and swords. It was then I inspected my armor and weapons. My tunic was brilliant white and cool to the touch. The material was unfamiliar to me, but quite comfortable. A sturdy leather belt held the tunic in place and provided a place to hold my sword. The sword handle was made of the finest golden material I had ever seen. It was warm to the touch and seemed to gently pulse against my fingers. I unsheathed the blade and silently gasped at the beauty of the craftsmanship. It was then I noticed all the men and angels around me were staring in my direction. Evidently, you are not supposed to draw your sword until the proper time, so I quickly placed it back in its beautiful sheath. We continued to wait a while longer. I noticed in the distance a brilliant light coming our way. Our surroundings were very well lit, and from what source I do not know, but this light coming toward us was radiant. As it approached our formation, I could tell it was a man on a white horse. My heart glowed with love and pride, joy, peace, and respect all jumbled together as he grew closer. I was mesmerized and had my eyes fixed upon what was no doubt our leader, our captain, our king. Instantly I knew I would follow him and fight for him no matter the odds, no matter the cost. It was also then that I realized out of the millions present, I was the only one standing. Everyone around me was kneeling before the king. Slightly embarrassed, I hurried to my knee. A voice broke the silence. It echoed across the plain like the sound of rushing waters, but with the clarity of a ringing bell. The most beautiful voice I could imagine fell upon my ear. Today, my brothers, we champion the good and right will of our Father. Will you follow me? In unison, the army responded, Always. My response was much slower and caused a twinge of embarrassment within me. You know I will always be with you. You know I have always loved you. Will you love me? Again in unison, the massive response was, Always, rang out the army. Stand and receive the power of my spirit. The army stood and in unison drew their swords and raised them high. Again, I was a bit slow. The king drew his sword. It appeared to be made of fire and fire alone, burning brightly in his hand. He waved it over the army, and all our swords glowed, and if it was possible, my heart was filled with even more love, courage, hope, peace, and justice. It was too much for me. How could this be happening? Is this real? As the army left, in what appeared legion-sized formations, I stood there watching the king. I did not know what to do or who to go with, but thought that was just as well because my only desire was to meet this king. It was then I realized he was riding toward me. As he approached, the fire within my heart was set ablaze. I did kneel clumsily and a bit late again. I was compelled to fall face down before him. Rise and speak with your king. It seemed to take me forever to get up and stand before him. Took even longer to formulate my thoughts into words. My king, I love you. It's what my heart was bursting to say. I could not have said anything else. I know, John, and you know I love you. Go and tell others of the love you have felt here and of what you have seen and heard. Champion the good and right will of our Father. I knelt down and responded, always.